This is going to be mental. A little out of the ordinary, but I feel like this is needed. This is the first time I've actually been able to see all of the cars together like this, and well, reality has literally just kicked in. It is absolutely unreal.
What would you do if you received a message in the middle of the night offering access to one of the world's most exclusive car collections? Imagine fixing just one car and unlocking a whole royal garage filled with rare hypercars unlike anything you've ever seen.
All of these cars behind me, in front of me, and in storage have all been sort of destined for the scrapyard. All of them have been crash damaged or had some serious problem, which we've all fixed.
Matt Armstrong, a man who started rebuilding cars on a GoPro in his bedroom, suddenly faced a challenge on a scale that few could imagine. A commission from the Crown Prince of Dubai. It's more than a job. It's a test of skill, trust, and resilience that could redefine everything in automotive restoration. The unlikely invitation. There are moments in life that take you completely by surprise. Messages that arrive unannounced, breaking through the routine and making you stop cold. For Matt Armstrong, one such moment came in the middle of the night, when a mysterious number sent him a message that would change everything. This wasn't a request from a dealership or a usual client, but something far grander. An offer from Dubai's Royal Circle, a world where car collections aren't just garages, but empires, measured in square miles. The message was simple, yet staggering. Fix one car, and the doors to an entire collection would open to him. The gravity of that offer is hard to grasp at first. It's not just about a commission or a paycheck. It's an invitation to step into a rarefied realm filled with some of the rarest and most valuable cars on the planet. For a man like Matt, known for taking on seemingly lost causes, this represented an unexpected opportunity and a huge risk. The kind of risk that makes you question everything. Would he accept a deal that could redefine his career? Or was it too much after all the battles he had already fought? This offer wasn't public knowledge at first, and its full meaning unfolded slowly as Matt weighed the stakes. The one-car condition was unusual and carried an implied test. Prove your worth, or the rest remains out of reach. That added pressure is unlike anything encountered in typical car restoration work, especially when it comes from royalty whose standards demand absolute perfection. It challenged not just Matt's skills, but his reputation and resilience under scrutiny. Such an offer isn't handed out lightly. It revealed a deep level of trust, or perhaps curiosity, about what Matt Armstrong could truly deliver. It said that somebody who had fought the odds and pushed back against automotive giants was worth watching closely. This moment planted the seed for a chapter in Matt's story that was about much more than cars. It was about trust, recognition, and the chance to move from the fringes into the heart of elite automotive culture. Yet, despite the excitement, there was an underlying question that loomed over everything. What car was so important that fixing it would open such doors? This question fueled speculation and tension, with every detail hinting at a machine of extraordinary pedigree. Matt's journey had brought him to the edge of something massive, but the full picture was still to be revealed. Receiving a royal invitation promises glory, but it also sets a trap of impossible expectations. It wasn't just the size of the collection waiting, it was the weight of proof that Matt had to provide before he could access it. The stakes were enormous, and the narrative was only beginning. For Matt, a man accustomed to working alone in his garage, this was more than an offer. It was a challenge directly aimed at his skills, commitment, and ability to perform on the most public and scrutinized stage imaginable. Everything hinged on one car, one chance, and one unbreakable will. As this extraordinary opportunity settled into place, Matt started to reflect on everything that had led him here. The years of hard work, setbacks, and small victories all converging on this unique invitation from a world unlike any other. It was clear this wasn't just a job. It was a defining moment. The story of how he got here is as important as the offer itself. From BMX to Bugatti battles, Matt Armstrong's rise didn't come from privilege or easy breaks. His journey began in Leicester, England, where cars were part of his life from day one, thanks to a mechanic father who passed down both passion and skills. But it wasn't all high-end supercars. It was dirt tracks, BMX bikes, and hustling through odd jobs like bartending and food delivery just to stay afloat. This early grit built a foundation few recognized until much later. His turning point came with a crash-damaged Audi TT belonging to his girlfriend, Hannah. Instead of walking away, Matt bought the wreck back from the insurer for £600 and documented his entire rebuilding process. Shot on a GoPro in their bedroom, this simple act of restoration became the seed of a new path, one fueled by honesty, passion, and relentless problem-solving. The COVID-19 lockdown brought both hardship and opportunity. Furloughed from his job, Matt made a bold move, using his house deposit to buy a written-off Bentley Continental GT for £10,000. He rebuilt it on camera, steadily growing an audience hungry to watch the impossible happen in real time. This was the moment the world started paying attention. His channel's growth was rapid, catching the eye of automotive legends, including Richard Hammond. By 2026, Matt was no longer just a backyard mechanic. He was one of the most watched automotive YouTubers globally, with a net worth estimated in the millions. His garage became a playground of hypercars and salvage titles, each restoration more audacious than the last. From Lamborghinis to Aston Martins, Matt's reputation grew as someone unafraid to tackle wrecked machines others would avoid. This wasn't just about fixing cars, it was about proving that knowledge, determination, and transparency could disrupt the luxury automotive world. His audience saw every wrench turn and every setback, creating a community like no other. But his greatest challenge lay ahead, eclipsing all previous builds, a Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, damaged and declared a total loss by its owner and manufacturer alike. This was the ultimate test of his skills, patience, and ability to navigate obstacles that went far beyond mechanics. The stakes had never been higher. His journey from BMX competitions across Europe to battling the most powerful car companies was a testament to a refusal to accept limits. Every step brought him closer to the moment where an unexpected message from a royal household forced him to confront all he had learned and all he still had to prove. Matt's story is not just about cars, it's about resilience, creativity, and breaking down barriers between what is believed possible and what can actually be done through sheer will and skill. When the Bugatti challenge hit a wall, it was a journey far from over. The Bugatti Lockdown Challenge. In October 2025, Matt discovered a crashed Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport listed at a Copart auction. This was no ordinary supercar. It was one of roughly 60 produced worldwide, a masterpiece of engineering with a seven-figure price tag. Its front end was wrecked, airbags deployed, every panel needing replacement. The insurance company had already written it off with a staggering $1.7 million repair quote. The owner had given up, calling it a total loss. For Matt, this wasn't a defeat, but a call to arms. He purchased the car, knowing the job ahead was immense. But soon, he encountered a barrier few expected. Bugatti itself locked the car's vehicle identification number in their systems. Dealerships worldwide were effectively barred from selling parts for this specific chassis. This wasn't just refusal to help, it was an active blockade. Bugatti's CEO publicly stated that the car was structurally compromised and that any repairs should only be done in France under their supervision. This stance sent a clear message. Matt's independent restoration was unwelcome and viewed as a direct challenge to the manufacturer's control. Standing in his garage, facing the hypercar few could afford, Matt was told by the very people who built it that he wasn't allowed to fix it. Yet, backing down was never an option. Matt began sourcing parts outside official channels, fabricating components from scratch. and relentlessly pushing forward despite this lockdown. Filming his every move, he turned setbacks into compelling stories and showed his audience the true cost of defying a manufacturer's monopoly. The challenges weren't just technical. They were battles fought against corporate bureaucracy and exclusivity. Matt's experience revealed the dark side of the hypercar world, where control often trumps craftsmanship, and ownership can feel more like a lease limited by the manufacturer's will. When this battle reached another impasse, Matt shifted focus to Dubai, seeking new opportunities in a salvage market filled with hypercars abandoned by even the wealthiest owners. It was there that his journey took a surprising turn, leading to the royal invitation that would change everything. The Bugatti lockdown was a defining moment, not just a story of repair, but a confrontation with the entrenched power dynamics of the supercar industry. It showed what happens when passion meets power and what it truly means to fight for a vision. What came next was a bold step into a new world where the stakes and the cars were bigger than ever before. If one challenge defined Matt's career, it was this: to fix what no one else would even attempt. Dubai's salvage dreamland. When Matt Armstrong boarded that plane bound for Dubai, he wasn't going on a leisurely trip. He was entering a world unlike any other, a place where the salvage market reads like a hypercar enthusiast's fever dream. In a city where billionaires sometimes leave Ferraris abandoned on the street, Dubai's wrecked supercars aren't scrap. They are precious trophies waiting for someone brave or bold enough to bring them back to life. The salvage yards here hold one-of-a-kind hypercars, many sitting with seven-figure price tags, their fates uncertain, but their potential immense. Among these prized wrecks, Matt found a Ford GT listed on the Copart Dubai auction block. Though it looked stunning at first glance, the reality beneath was brutal. Carbon fiber panels cracked, the high-performance twin-turbo V6 lay silent, and the front suspension had punched right through the bonded carbon tub. Getting this car roadworthy again would demand not only money, but a manufacturer willing to cooperate. And Ford was ready to sell the necessary parts, giving the Ford GT something the Bugatti never did: a tangible path forward. But Matt's time in Dubai wasn't just about parts and repairs. It was an immersion into a culture where cars symbolize power, wealth, and heritage on another level. Unlike the tightly controlled world of European supercar dealerships, here was a marketplace fused with novelty and extravagance. The exotic salvage lots were more than inventory. They were gateways to stories unseen anywhere else, and Matt was right in the middle of it. While navigating this labyrinth of auctions and exotic wrecks, an unexpected conversation began to take shape, rooted in a realm where budgets effectively disappear and the word impossible seldom applies. The message that landed in Matt's inbox was from an entirely different orbit, an offer from the royal household of Dubai itself. It came with an unspoken understanding. The cars here aren't just vehicles, they're jewels in a living museum. The messenger, Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, the Crown Prince of Dubai, also known by his poetic alias, Faza. Since 2008, he has been more than royalty. A multi-time champion in equestrian sports and a connoisseur of some of the rarest cars on Earth. His collection includes cars like the Lamborghini Veneno, one of just 13 ever made, alongside Bentleys, Mercedes G63 AMGs, and Rolls-Royces, each a rolling masterpiece of rarity and power. This is not an ordinary garage. It is a massive, meticulously curated collection where each machine holds a story and every panel and part is almost sacred. Within this collection, one car had a problem, an issue too complex or delicate for local shops to handle, and not just solvable by throwing money at it. It was the kind of challenge reserved for someone with a unique mix of skill, reputation, and fearlessness. What made this call so extraordinary was the trust implicit in it. The message was clear: fix this car, do it right, and you unlock not just a project, but access to the entire royal fleet. It was a single gate through which lay a trove of automotive treasures, each waiting for Matt's expert hands. But the stakes had never been higher, and the challenge far beyond anything Matt had faced before. Stepping into this world meant entering a delicate balance of privilege and pressure. It was a realm where mistakes could cost a career, and every success would be magnified by the eyes of royalty, the world, and millions of followers watching him turn wrenches from thousands of miles away. The true test, however, was yet to come. The weight of royal trust. Accepting a commission from a royal garage isn't just about talent. It's about navigating immense expectations and scrutiny. Matt Armstrong knew that working on Sheikh Hamdan's collection meant every decision, every bolt, and every repair would be under an intense microscope, both from within the royal circle and through the lens of his global audience. The pressure to deliver flawless work while balancing complete transparency was unlike anything he had dealt with before. When Matt rebuilds a car for a private owner, the stakes are already high. There's money, reputation, and content all riding on the outcome. But a royal commission elevates those stakes to a whole new dimension. One wrong call, one misdiagnosis, or one poorly fitting part could jeopardize not only the relationship, but also his credibility in the rarefied world of elite automotive restoration. The margin for error was razor thin. Then, there was the added layer of his YouTube audience. Everything Matt does gets filmed and shared, from triumphs to setbacks. His trademark radical transparency demands showing even the darkest moments. Late-night head-scratching, parts that don't fit, budget overruns, and timeline slips. Would the royal household tolerate such openness? Could Matt balance his signature honesty with the privacy and discretion expected when working for royalty? Those were questions he had to wrestle with deeply. The dynamic between public transparency and private commission created a complex, creative tension. Some of Matt's most compelling content comes from chaos and near disasters, moments when the project is on the edge. Yet, for a client like Sheikh Hamdan, the same content risked being perceived as unprofessional or unstable. Finding that middle ground would require negotiation, trust, and perhaps compromises previously unimagined. This pressure to simultaneously deliver perfection and transparency painted a portrait of the true weight a royal commission carries. It's a burden few in the automotive restoration world ever face, where the stakes are wrapped not just in parts and labor, but in legacy and reputation on a global scale. Matt's willingness to confront these challenges head-on says much about who he is. Not just a mechanic or a content creator, but a craftsman whose work transcends conventional boundaries. The road ahead is fraught, but the rewards could be extraordinary. The nature of the offer itself added yet another layer of complexity. One car, one chance. The offer on the table was simple but staggering. Fix one car, just one, and gain access to an entire royal collection. This wasn't a customary agreement, no contract with endless projects or slowly building trust over years. It was a high-stakes, very public test, a single shot to prove capability under unrivaled pressure. What made it exceptional was not just the scale, but the message behind it. Confidence mixed with caution from some of the most discerning owners in the world. For Matt Armstrong, accustomed to pushing his limits, this deal was both an opportunity and a gauntlet. Years of battling supercar manufacturers, navigating impossible deadlines, and sourcing rare parts from unconventional places had prepared him for this moment. Yet, the weight here was different. The entire fate of a multi-million-pound relationship hinged on the success or failure of one car, one project, one chance to show he belonged. This type of arrangement breaks from traditional bespoke restoration practices. Usually, clients with collections worth tens or hundreds of millions expect established credentials, private negotiations, and long portfolios. But here was a royal household choosing transparency, inviting someone they found through his online presence and public projects. They weren't just buying a mechanic's skill, they were putting faith in a persona, one built on openness, honesty, and relentless determination. The stakes were intensified by the global spotlight. Matt's every move would be scrutinized by followers who had witnessed his past triumphs and failures. His audience wasn't passive. They were vocal critics, contributors, and collaborators in his journey. Delivering a project of this scale with an audience watching made the risk exponentially greater, but so did the potential reward. Success could elevate his career to new heights. Failure could close doors forever. This opportunity highlighted how the automotive world has changed. Years ago, work like this stayed behind closed doors in specialist workshops. Now, a creator known for documenting car repairs on YouTube earned access to one of the world's most exclusive collections, reflecting the growing value of both craftsmanship and storytelling. Matt's channel is built on escalation, each project bigger, riskier, and more complex than the last. From the crash-damaged Bentley that launched his following to the Bugatti saga that defied manufacturer limits, every step pushed boundaries. This royal commission was the ultimate escalation, transforming a popular YouTube channel into a global cultural moment. It was not just a mechanic's job, it was a defining chapter of automotive history in the making. Matt Armstrong's journey from humble beginnings to a royal commission is a powerful testament to grit, skill, and fearless transparency. One car, one chance, and the door to a legendary collection swings open. If this story inspired you, hit like and subscribe for the next chapter in this incredible adventure. What car should Matt tackle first? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.